Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's been a little bit. Hey, Zeno, how's it going? So today we're working on good old Jessup King. I know the channel's been quiet for a while. I was working on a couple of these pages here, and we did a stream a few days ago, and I started talking about how these pages. Not that I don't want to keep it a secret. I mean, it's just a comic book, for God's sake. It's not, it's not the second coming of anything here, right? But anyway, I just have what I'm doing right now is a silhouette, the breakdowns. This is the last page I have breakdowns to do. These are the two pages before we're finally getting into the big fight and stuff, and we'll go over it. But really, all I'm doing is this one last panel I have to make a silhouette for, and then I'm gonna do the breakdown to the whole page. And ideally, we're just gonna be cranking out like a full stream today. I hope. And we're gonna be doing the line art next. And if we're like super lucky, start doing some inks as well. So we'll see how it goes. Play it by ear. So right now in this panel here, we kind of have to have the king overlooking Momo as he's zapped her here with some sort of magic from his heart-shaped scepter, as every proper villain should have. Hey, how's it going, Euro? Welcome, buddy. So in my thumbnail, I kind of have him hunching over. She's supposed to be here in the foreground, but I think we could do something maybe a little bit more, I don't know, dynamic. I was thinking, I do this shot a lot where it's kind of like we're looking down like this. We go up. I need Momo in the foreground, so maybe we'll just put her in first. So she'll just be hunched over, Maybe just make her like. I'm just doing this for now. She's not dead, but I might just so I remember when we get to it. I don't know if we're gonna put some steam like she's smoking. Um, let's see what we can do here. So we'll just kind of put her in the foreground. Make another layer here. Let's grab a different color. I don't know. Let's see if we can kind of get something. Maybe standing over her body or something. Yeah, I don't really like that. Try something else. Hey, Overpusher, how's it going? AK, welcome. Bonjour. Bonjour, bonjour, bon téléphone, bonjour. So kind of have him. Damn. Sometimes this is just hard stuff. Trying to reinvent the wheel, I guess. The thing I'm just debating in my head is there's a lot of shots I've continually done over and over again, and I don't want to repeat them all the time, so thumbnails are great, not necessarily always to get the shot you want, but just to get the information down, to get yourself moving. And I don't want to keep repeating stuff, but so the scepter's a big deal. You can put him on the stairs here. Hey, Calvin, welcome, bud. Okay, you know what? Let's do this. Everything's like just so in your face in these panels. Let's just bring them back a bit. Maybe this will work. I know his balance is screwed up, so we'll fix that. But maybe we can put like the cape, maybe doing some stuff to fill out that negative space. I don't know. Or let's try some other stuff here. I don't know if we're doing this actual effect or not, but I'm just gonna put some Kirby dots here. I think I'll figure it out when we get to the line art, or maybe when we break it down. Hey, Matador, welcome, buddy. All right, so I feel all right with this one. Not one over, but what the hell? Keep it going. That's gonna be the last panel we're getting to, so we can see if we change our mind towards the end. All right, let's bring our silhouettes down. Turn the thumbnails off. So actually, I've been getting into the pencil again for this stage. I'm still not 100% sure if I should stay here because I do think I noodle a little bit more with the pencil. But for now, try it. Keep it going. And by noodling, I just want to compare to like how I normally do a breakdown, where breakdowns are with like a pressureless brush. That way I can't do what I just did right there, or like this right here, what I'm doing, where it's like you're sort of feathering to build up a line. Just the act of this right here makes the lines tend to, like I can feel them out a little bit more, and find like what feels like a really a good line. I can build things up, which like what I'm doing right now with this lip. Whereas if I was doing it with how I would normally do it, right, which is with this here, this is the brush that I would use to do this, and like you can't noodle, right? And you can see it does look a lot. I guess I'll say worse, but one of the main reasons why is this here adds time. I have find, but sometimes you can get maybe a little bit better of a finished product. I don't know. I'm still going back and forth. Speed's always, I'll always go on the side of whatever is going to be the quickest. Except for this case right now, where I sort of feel like I just want to mess around a little bit with a pencil. I don't know. Just talking out loud of some stuff I'm noticing. Some spikes and stuff on here. Oops. By the way, you're totally right about breaking things down into simple forms. Just making. Oh, awesome! Yeah, how's that been going for you, dude? Just to fill in, people listening on after the fact or people that are in the stream right now. AK is one of the awesome people that is getting like the one-on-one stuff with me over on Patreon, and we're going over his stuff. And I'm not saying this to try to encourage people to like or consider doing anything on my Patreon or whatever. But he's been awesome. I think we've had how many sessions now? 3 maybe, and like he's gaining like big time stuff. And we just had like a little breakthrough. I was gonna call you out right now a little bit, where like I'm a big fan of his stuff, and I tell him that all the time. But we for me anyway, I saw something that just clicked, and what it was breaking down like what's a good way of saying it? So even this head that I drew right here, doing this after the fact. Let me just make another layer here. I'll show you guys. So making like another layer and like figuring out what is the shape here? Like what are all these things? Like what's the volume of some of these things, and how does this work in perspective? And figuring it out. And anyway, what I noticed anyway, what was helping, what I think would help him anyway, was just by doing that, and all of a sudden you could see where his thought process was kind of going. And it's interesting, man, because like you can have all the style in the world, and if you have style, great, you're already halfway there. It's usually, I find there's two things: either people come across style later, or you get style first. And then the other side is you have well drawn anatomical drawings, or you learn them later. Those are usually the two that I see people just get to at different times. And he has the style 100%. It's just the form was a little loosey. And as soon as we started adding those little grids, for me anyway, I was like, that's it. You can see if you can get that language locked in your brain to make more sense, like to understand it fully. That's it. That's all you need. You just keep practicing that over and over again, and like that's the next thing to unlock for you. So I thought it was really cool. It's really cool. Hey Linus, how's it going, man? Hey Chad, how's it going, my man? feel satisfied with the figure image. I can focus more during. Awesome. Good, man. Good. Progress. We're getting there. Good stuff. It's good to have that every now and then instead of having always the frustrations all the time. You know what I mean? Yeah, no problem, man. As the ancient Romans used to say, I can't read that. So it's very cool. You're getting better at cake. Keep it up. Yeah, man. Yeah, he's been working a lot too, guys. A lot of hard work. I'll tell you this. Not just him, but I'll say 90% of the people that I've had sessions with, and we sort of went over like something they had a question or a problem with. Like, so let's say struggling with anatomy or anything like that. I would say as high, and this is, I would maybe 90% of people, when we have this session, I feel like, and if you've done this and you're listening, don't, don't get butthurt about it, but, is they'll listen to the advice I give, and I'm not saying you have to always do it, but they might at the time agree with it, so to be polite or something, but they'll never actually do the work. So let's just say in this case it was redraw over all of your like designs and stuff with those cylinders, just trying to break it down to understand it. And it's like homework, right? Do all that stuff, and what you're trying to do is train your brain to read a new language, to see a new language, to see 3D form. It's a hard thing to do. It's not something you can just really understand in a weekend, right? But yeah, sadly, you know, and I've had a few people come back over the years or whatever, and they're not really improving, but they're not doing any of the work, you know, and they're confused as to why it's they're still not improving, I guess. Not coming back angry or anything like that. It's just it's nice to see some people actually put in the work, and you can kind of tell who has the making, I suppose, of actually taking this seriously. If you just want to do this as like a hobby and a craft, of course, do whatever you want to do. Nobody's ever going to question you on that, right? It's just sometimes it kind of I don't understand it. Like I think some people are just looking for the quick solution, and they don't want to put in the work. I don't know. Either way, it's just refreshing to have some people that are into working to get better. You know, go figure. Oh yeah, we're definitely getting the action. Yeah, here. So I'll just fill you guys in what's gonna happen. Some spoilers, I guess, for those that are, waiting for this kind of stuff to happen. Um, so in this page here, we're gonna have Skabax. I don't know how to say his name. Anyway, he's coming after Jessup, and he punches him in the face. And they have some words or whatever. Jessup's gonna catch his hand, and so I was debating on this panel here how I wanted to do this. This panel, basically, he crushes the guy's hand. Okay, so sorry, got an ice cube there. Um, the debate that I've been having and I've shared with you guys, and I know you don't all follow everything, but if you are listening and you're just getting caught up. So the debate I kept having is, how do I show Jessup fighting? I have in my mind, obviously, that he's pretty OP and that kind of stuff for different reasons that I'd like to get into. But I don't want to just show it all right away. I'd rather there be like something. There is something that I intend to eventually get to that will show you what he does, or what he's like max potential. About. So what happens in the next page is sort of what I imagined the story would get to anyway. The sort of fighting, kind of like He-Man style, I would say, and you'll see that. But this page right here is actually pretty critical because it finally shows, I guess an idea of what I'm trying to say with a War Machine and what they can do. It's important for me to write the story, and the hard part was, when do I show this? And for the readers like you guys might not even, it might just be a cool thing to see and all that. But I'm hoping for the people that read the story, and you don't know who your audience is, the people that really connect to like the small parts. And that's what this is. This is that turning point, hopefully, in the story, that when people see it, they get it, okay? So that happens, but this is the second point that I had to make another conscious decision, and you guys might have to do this too. You most likely will. Is blood. I decided to go with blood because I felt there's two things. One, the story it's very, and this is intentional, is very like lighthearted in the beginning, right? Like they're arguing about getting fuel. Jessup loves hummus and wrestling, right? And he got distracted. He's like a big lovable moron, I suppose, right? And he's very protective and nice. So the blood is something that's out of context with how I start the book, right? So I didn't want to just put it in there because of the surprise gory blood, right? And I currently anyway, I don't want to go full like Invincible with like spines being ripped out and stuff. I'm not saying that that's not possible down the road, but I just had to look at it this way. If I'm making a story about a war machine, and there's a couple pages before this where they're talking, and he's talking about regret and doing dark things, I thought, without showing blood, it takes away the seriousness of like war, or what a machine of war would do. So I decided, you know what, we're going to go with it. And I'm not going to go over the top with it, but I do think just this, that's why, again, to me as a storyteller, and whether or not it resonates with the readers or not, I'm not sure, but we'll see. But this panel right here is probably the actual climax, or in my opinion, the most important panel of the entire book. And I understand how some people wouldn't or wouldn't agree with that or whatever. But for me, anyway, okay? So he does this. We get a little bit of blood. So the other hint there is that it also will show like the seriousness or the serious tone of... did the stream die? I think the recording, I think, is still going. Not sure. It says we're live. Just on YouTube, it looks like it's a little weird. Let me close some stuff. Anyway, so that's the decision process for that. And I hope you guys anybody watching, I might have to repeat this, but either way. So in the next page here, let me turn off the silhouettes, and we'll just turn off the story here. You don't really need it. And this is where I wanted to get more into, like, this was the story, the sort of fighting that I imagined from the beginning. I'm a big Zangief fan. You guys know that. Wrestling. I like wrestling and all that cool stuff. So he's focused on his hand that just got crushed. They have some words back and forth. Jessup spins around behind him, close up, and then we're just going to do like a big suplex right into the ground. And that's pretty much it. And then we cut the story back to Momo doing the fighting. So that's why, for me, it's important. And I'm only like really staying on this topic just for a little bit here, just for those few of you that actually care about like I guess the storytelling part of it, or what I'm talking about with this stuff. It's not for everybody. I get it. But maybe it's something for you guys to consider. And again, I'm not saying this is the win. This is going to be the because I did this, it's amazing now. Nothing like that. that. It's just I would like to talk a little bit about why the idea was, or the debate that I was kind of going back with. And I am assuming, if you guys are making comics as well, you guys are having this debate all over the place as well. Okay, so anyway, that's that. And then I guess the last third point here is that I definitely want to have action in my comic book, and we haven't had any action really. We had one page of Momo getting punched in the face, and that's why I wanted her to have her punching somebody in the face. She's been waiting to do this for many pages now, and if it's up to me, like I would have a much more action-heavy comic. However, I know for the action to pay off, in my opinion, it's good to have the talking and those sort of things to play in parallel, so that if it's all action, then it's not action. If it's all story, it's not story. You know what I'm saying? For me, that belief is pretty true. You have to have not a 50-50 split. I'm trying to go for myself like a 70-30. 70% story, 30% action. Maybe the next story it's 70 action, 30%. You know what I'm saying? So going back and forth, that's just the decisions there. So anyway, that's that for those few of you that are actually remotely interested in any of that stuff. So, yeah, it does look like Zangief versus Honda. I love it. Love it. Oh, there's also a panel down here because you guys know I'm a fan of Street Fighter. Whoops. I'll show you one thing here. So, cancel apply. No. Right here. Just want to have this guy obviously breaking this panel. I'm going to have to change his anatomy just to make it pop over the top here. But if you guys remember, there's a captured Doblin and a Tupo that are with them, and they start fighting back down here. So we're going to have the guy who had his tongue cut out fighting back. Momo's cheering him on, like, oh wow, you guys are actually fighting, because they haven't been doing. If you guys remember in the last few pages, they're both hiding behind JESOP. Everybody hides behind JESOP except Momo, right? So right here we're gonna have that Tupo here doing a little show Ryukin. I gotta put in the Street Fighter stuff when I can. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so let's get back to it. So how many arms does she have now? 1, 2, 3, 4. She's missing a couple. So let's get some composition. Actually, you know what? All of them should be wrapped around all these people here. 3 and 3. There we go. Okay, cool. Oh, right. That was sorry. Let's change this to, like, I don't know, purple. Forgot to put in our costumes. So I want this guy, obviously, his helmet to kind of fall off. And they need guns, so we're going to be opening up, what's it called? SketchUp in a second here. Thanks, Kevin. Thank you, sir. Thank you. All right, let's get SketchUp open here. Let's get some guns. So since we're using whatever, they don't, like, the angle actually doesn't really matter on them. So let's just. So we just need 4 of these things here. Oops. Oops. All right. So let's put these pieces in here. Just want to see actually something here. Yeah, I think so. Just give me a second here. Just running some actions here. Trying to beef up the lines here. So why is it blurring? Let's try that. I see. It's too small. Hey Lewis, how's it going? Jonathan, long time follower. My schedule didn't allow for the following live streams. Awesome. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. Appreciate the support. Welcome. Grab a coffee. I think we got a couple art desks open. Get some comics done, my man. See something here. It's interesting. It almost looks like it inked it for me. It's kind of cool. I don't know if I like it though. We'll roll with it. See what happens. Why is it doing that? I don't know if you guys can see. So I have an action. This is troubleshooting for you. And this action beefs up the line weight. So it blurs it and merges it. That's what it's supposed to do. But what it's doing is it's just like blurring. Like right here. See? Duplicate it, blur it, merge it. It's not. Here, let me see something here. I'm trying to cheat the system, and it's not letting me cheat the system. That is so weird. That one's working. See, it's just supposed to get thicker like that. Wow, I don't know what the huh? Jeez. Let's see if it works. Wow, this is super frustrating. Anyway, hey, how's it going? Glad to catch you live again. I saw some update that you may be streaming live. Oh yeah, and then I just totally spoiled it today. It was just the fight that Jessop's having so far. I wanted to keep a little bit of a whatever. Um, just more so because I think it's an important one. A lot of people are looking forward to it. And the more I was thinking about it, I'm like, it just doesn't make sense. I'm keeping it away from people like you guys and stuff, and you ladies that are actually interested in it now. So if I keep it a secret, let's say, to when it comes out, like a month or 2 months from now, like what's the difference? It'd be different if I was getting if this was the full time job or something, right? Or if you know what I'm saying, that would be a lot different. But that's not the case. The case right now is I'm making a web comic. You guys, I don't know if you like it, but you're hanging out with me, and you're kind of keeping in the loop a little bit. So why? It almost feels like punishing in a way. And then on the other hand, most of you might not even care, really, right? So just realize sooner rather than later that it's just me in my own head. So it's easy to get out of that once you realize you're in it. Hey Anthony, how's it going, buddy? Good. How are you doing? Ask away, my man. Okay, we got one gun left here. This one. Super excited for. Okay, cool. Thanks. You did get a copy of DC Comics Guide, right on, from the library. Even better. Okay, and the DC Guide coloring. Oh, sweet. I think I no, I don't have the lettering one. I don't. I think I just have. How are the other ones? Are they good? Yeah. Okay, I'm in the same boat. Even though that's not how I make my comic, I'm in the same boat as well. Let's see how this works. It's super thin. I don't even know if I can see it. Guess so. Unable to connect the chat. Maybe it's a YouTube thing. Can you guys even hear me? Says we're still streaming and stuff, so maybe just let me refresh. Here we go. Okay, yeah, I don't know if it's just me, but it looks like YouTube's giving a little bit of trouble. Okay, so Anthony, seeing that I'm from the Caribbean, how do you say? How do you guys say? Is it? And I know you've heard this a bajillion times, but I just want to know for myself. Is it Caribbean? Caribbean? Is it all the same? Does it even matter? Anyway, and it does make tutorials. How? Sorry, seeing that I'm from the area and I don't make tutorials, how post it up on YouTube? People starting to like what I'm posting. Are you asking? What? I'm not sure. Seeing that you're from the Caribbean and you do make tutorials, how do you post it on YouTube and starting to okay, so are you basically asking how do you get people to like your stuff and to see your stuff? Is that what you're asking? Okay, yeah, no, Key Guy, please do, man. I would appreciate that. Watching the Venom print live stream when you were doing the digital color. Had to leave the stream. Can't find recorders. No, it's not. It's uploaded. I just haven't released it yet. So what I do is usually I've moved it to Mondays now. Not that that matters to you guys, but it used to be Sundays. Is I would go back through all the videos. So just to give you guys a little background info in case you're interested in streaming on YouTube or something. One of the benefits of streaming about YouTube is that when you're done streaming, unless some errors or something pop up, once you're done streaming, it automatically gets uploaded to your channel, and you can have some settings. Usually, I recommend do whatever you want, but for me, it's private, so you guys can't see it until I release it. What this does is it adds up to like a catalog of videos that are just random names. So what I have to do is go back and you can put in all the information, so the title and stuff like that. But mostly it's the thumbnail. So I'll do that, and sometimes it depends. Sometimes YouTube will update the thumbnail right away. Sometimes it takes a few hours. So what I'll do is, I used to do it on Sundays, and I'll do it on Mondays. I just batch update all the previous week stuff, and then I can release them that week or the following week. So the Venom one, I think it should come out sometime next week for sure. Because tomorrow, like I said, I'll be doing all the thumbnails and stuff, and I'm trying to get the Venom stuff out there so you guys can see it. It's still not done. This is where we're at right now. I've had to put it on the back burner a little bit just to keep JESOP going. But can always show you guys a little update where we're at. Prints, Venom, where are we at? I think we just finished the flats, really, right? So the colors and everything, it's not final, right? At all. So this is basically where we're going. I'm considering putting in I was going to put in a city background, I think, but it might muddy it up, I'm not sure. So. Yeah, so shadows are all blocked in from what we did. And really, it's just going in, adding some highlights and some, coloring stuff. Drew, any update? The Venom prints will be the same price as that I normally do the prints at. I forget how much I charge for them. Is it $10? Let me check. Go to my site. One sec. Yeah. So it'll most likely. I'm not gonna like gouge on this stuff. Because this is the thing, right? Like I still have prints available, and we did these, and I printed a lot, and I've sold a lot too. I'm not trying to, whatever, but I want to see if the limited, like I think I printed 30 of these, of like the ones we did last year, right? So the DC one, Mega Man and Turtles, I think it was 30, and between like two conventions and just posting it online, I think I still have like under 10 left. So don't get me wrong, that's great, right? Anybody, if you can sell your art, period, that's great. What I want to see is if people know that there is an actual cap. It's not that I'll just keep reprinting them to see if I'll actually go through them. So like I say, most likely it'll be 10. And in my head anyway, what I'm thinking is for the original. So if you wanted to own the original, so far I'm thinking I still got to debate it, but most likely it'll be 100. And it also comes with a colored print as well, so you get both. But the $100, that's where I'm thinking it's going to be for the original. I have no idea if it'll sell. And again, this is all a test to see what the people that are interested in owning art anyway, if I even have an audience for that or not, because I'm not sure. I've never really tried to sell that stuff. Oh, nice. Right on, Lewis. Blue Shade Venom still, but I take my yeah. Oh, it has to be Blue Shade. Black looks nice. Don't get me wrong, but I grew up. My Venom history grew up with the was it in 2000 around there? It was the Fox Spider-Man one, where like Venom was always half like blue and half red. He looked ridiculous, but it was that mixed with the Maximum Carnage video game, and I'm pretty sure he was like, oh no, and Marvel vs. Capcom 2, that bright blue, love it. I think it looks really good. Anthony, no, what I'm trying to say is people starting to like my stuff, but seeing I'm from the Caribbean, I can't set up absent on my account. I don't. I'm sorry, man. There might be a language barrier. Does anybody know else understand what Anthony's trying to say? I'm a little confused with your question still. Sorry, buddy. I think he meant he can't notify people that he'll be absent. Absent. Wow, that's such a weird. So, okay, is the question you're asking is like, so let's say you're going on vacation or something, and you just want people to know that you won't be making videos for a while. Is that what you're saying? I'm sorry, I'm so stupid. I can't. I don't understand the question fully. I'm trying. All right. So they're all beat up. Then we get this really cool panel. This one always reminds me of like X-Men or Avengers kind of thing, where they're we always get like all the bad guys swarming, and then you get the good guys attacking. Warm up routine. That's funny. Johnny, tips on how to do a background? I mean, just simple colors with abstract stuff, just to complement the characters. Yeah, I think the easy. Well, there's I love how I always add. Oh, there's the easy way or something, right? It's not easy, but if it's color, if you can find like a complementary color or something like that, it'll usually always look nice. If you can't find that, usually just like a shape. You'll see a lot of cats. What they'll do is they'll have like they'll use like a square or something they'll put behind people. Or like you could do like an inky kind of brush where it's like this kind of thing where you'll go behind the character. Just grab like a texture brush, go nice and big, and just do something like this behind them. You can fill it with like a gray, like if it's black and white, do something like that maybe. Oops. This will be more better on Discord. Okay, what I mean is getting more people to subscribe so I can make a little money on you. Okay, so that's exactly what I thought the question was. Okay, so your question is how do you basically? I'm assuming, or no, you said no to this. Okay, so let me ask this question, and hopefully this makes sense. Is your question how do you get more people to see your stuff, and how can you make money on YouTube? Is that basically the gist of what we're trying to get to? Dun, 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 Okay, that is. Oh, hey, Create now. How's it going, man? Okay, so to answer your question, I have no idea. I know that's not what you want to hear. The first thing I would worry about, honestly, man, is that you're making stuff people are interested in, and that in and of itself is a problem because if we all knew what people were interested in, then we would be doing something. I'll use myself as an example. I have no idea what I'm doing besides sharing my process. When I first started doing this stuff, it was an art journal just to keep me drawing, and then it turned into tutorials because I started to get that itch of wow, people are kind of digging this, and I know tutorials people are interested in, so maybe some people are interested in how I draw or how I come across this and that kind of stuff. And then what I do on YouTube now is much more in a line with what I would have liked to do. I don't ever want to do tutorial stuff. That's not my thing. So, and I know that's why I don't have like I've got like 14K people, which is awesome. But I've also been doing this for like what 7 years now or something. So it's not like it's an overnight thing. There's lots of other channels that are just doing pure tutorials, and if you want subscribers and stuff, do stuff that in my opinion, is like evergreen. Definitely tutorials, show people stuff, review stuff. I think that's the quickest way. As as for actually, and that'll make you money as well because you'll start getting more people interacting with your stuff. But if you want to, I guess, like let's say you're doing what I'm doing, you want to make a comic book or something, right? In my opinion, it's your best bet is to sort of try to find a way to people to be interested in you, so that no matter what you do, those people possibly will carry over with you. Okay, and that doesn't guarantee any money or success or anything like that. If you're trying to make art anything on YouTube, good luck. It's just as hard as trying to get art doing, like making shows or trying to get a job. There's so many artists out there, so there is no shortage of talent. and I'll say this all the time. After I heard it, you're honestly the like I've said or I've heard, ideas are shit, execution is king. So if you want to start a YouTube channel and you want to get more subscribers and stuff, that's all great, but you need to be doing stuff. You got to earn people's likes and subs and stuff like that. Okay, so make things people are interested in first and foremost of what you're interested in, and share it and just be open, be yourself. Just do whatever it is you think you would want to see. And it might take you 10 years, it might take you 20 years, it might take you a year. You never know. But I wouldn't I'm not saying don't quit your job over this, but definitely if this is something you want to make money on or something, you got to take it serious. So there's content. You got to produce content, and then it's up to random people to find out if that content is valuable. You could think you're making valuable content, but some people might not resonate with it, or some people might not hear it, or some people might not like you, and then there's nothing you can do about it. Excuse me. So yeah, I mean, to sum it up, there's no real answer, except keep making stuff. Don't lie to people. I think a lot of people can see through channels of people that are fake. They're just doing it for the views and for the money. And if you want to do that, I think you're wasting your time. Just be genuine. There's enough people out there being fake. So and help people. If you can help people, I think that's the number one thing. Is help your art community grow. If art is again what you want to be doing. If you don't know if that's what you want to be doing, then I get it. I have no idea if that even helped you out at all. Anybody else, if they've got comments too, like you guys, I know some of you out there have YouTube channels and stuff. So if you guys got suggestions, yeah, let them know. Kind of wonder if I can like just move this guy even further into this dude's fist. Like, it almost looks like he's gonna kill the guy. Maybe this guy's got super strength or something too. Stupid. Whatever you type days. Yeah, no, sorry about that. I mean, I think it's more along the lines with YouTube. I think YouTube has like a 30-second delay with stuff, so don't worry about it. It's all good, man. I'll get to your question. Don't. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not impatient. I'm not anything like that. We're all just having fun. Don't worry about it. Although I could see like you want to have a conversation if something's not clear and you can't. You have to hit all the points that I keep moving to. Lewis, speaking of which, you did a stream where you showed how to change the default on the layer color effect. Tried finding it again, but couldn't find it. To change the color in effect. Shit, how do we do that? I know that it's there. Let me see. Oh my god. Where was that? Is it under window? No, it wouldn't be here. It'd be under here, file or something, right? Preferences? Let's try that. I like going through here's to going through here's going through here until you find like a color and you're like, oh, there it is. Okay, so file. Maybe it is a window somewhere. Canvas workspace. No, I can't imagine it's in here. Well, damn. Hey, Gil Panda, how's it going? This is hilarious. Oh, wait. I think it's up in somewhere up here. On that layer, story. Oops. Story change basic page settings. What is this? What is this? No, not that one. Edit. Basic work settings? Is that what I just hit? No. Yeah, I don't even know. That's funny. See, things get buried in some of this stuff. Modifier key, and we just checked this, right? No. So let's just go down everything. So shortcut settings, main menu. I know this isn't. No. Tab Mac controllers. I don't know what the hell that is. Probably not here. Nah. Wow. Wow. You'd think it'd be like preferences. You'd think it would be in here. But I'm just not seeing anything with the color. Oh god. No thanks. Okay. I only got 32 gigs left. Oh Jesus. I feel like we're taking just as long as we did before to do this. I have no idea. I'm sorry. I mean, I'll try to like. Hey, I don't know what to say. You would think it would just be like. Wait, I'm starting to click now. There was something that was like layer color. You open this up, and you would do something. Let's try. I don't know. I don't know what red this is. Let's add that to custom colors just in case. Let's go with like green. Click OK. But let me just try something. I know this most likely won't work. Click it. Is it green? No. And is it a right click in here maybe? Is that... No, I know it's funny. It's like, but I would like to know how to do. I hate learning something, especially in Photoshop. I hate learning something and then, oh, there it is. Okay, I'm register to initial. I think it's this. I'm gonna try it. Let's see if we screw this up. Register to initial settings. Yeah. Okay, so that's what you want. Got it. All right, so pick the color you want. So I'm gonna pick this blue. Let's see if it works. You click this thing here. It's like these little I think they call it a hamburger with the arrow or the menu. Register to initial settings. Yes, please. This will come up. You want to make sure layer color. Hit OK. All right. So let's do the old test. See if we get lucky. Go there. Click it again. There we go. Now it's blue. Okay. So I'm gonna show you again one more time. So open up your layer property here. Right. Click inside the arrow. Whatever. Pick whatever you want. I wanted red. I don't know if we want that bright. Whatever. Click OK. I want that red. You can fiddle with it until you get that shade you want. And then you click the little menu, register initial, layer color. Yeah. There you go. Done. Okay. Hey, that took 50 bajillion. So good. All right. Let me catch up with you guys. See what you guys are saying. Okay. This. Yeah. Okay. Anthony, okay, yeah. So, AK, if you have a following in a community example, DeviantArt, and they like what you do, get commission from them. And I notice those artists get YouTube showing the process, and Patreon get pretty decent amount. Yeah, process. Everybody always loves. Well, be honest. What do you guys like? You guys looking at process? And does process sound like something you're interested in? Like what the hell I'm doing? Like right now, when you ask a question, obviously, like, and again, I've been here for a bit, so I know I've been building some of your guys' trust, or whatever reason you're here. You're here, okay? The tutorial stuff, I'm pretty much out unless there's something a little unique that I find that's kind of cool to share. But like how to draw the head, I'm over that stuff. I hate doing those videos. I don't like them. But that's me. You might like doing that stuff, so do that stuff. Or do the easiest thing. You got working to do. You're just doing anatomy studies today. Stream that shit. You'd be surprised how many people are interested in just like how many of you are in here just listening to me run my mouth. You're not even watching what I'm doing. You might check in every now and then. Like some people they just want people to talk to, and you could be just that person. And sometimes that's all people need. But if you want to make money, then you have to make something of value that people want. You have to sell stuff. You have to make something that people are willing to buy. Give them a reason to buy it. Give Sell them something they didn't even know they need, right? And that's like business 101. I'm not on YouTube to make money. I think I make $150 on YouTube every 6 months or something like that. I personally do YouTube to build, I'll call it a fan base, but like people that are interested, I guess, in what I'm currently doing, which is Jessup King. And then if I can funnel people into, Patreon's been great. But let's just say if I start to sell this stuff, or who knows, I don't even care about the money right now. You guys will know when I'm trying to make money. Like prints and stuff, of course. If you're an artist, you want to sell some stuff on the side, make prints, right? That's what I'm doing. But when I want to like try to see if I can make a big push to turn this into a living or something, you guys will notice, and I'll be upfront with you guys and tell you about it too. Um, nice. Gil just woke up. Kigai, I think Kigai already told us how to do it. Awesome. Okay, cool. During your process, most of the time I get ideas for drawing. Awesome. During your process, mini stream. Cool. Appreciate that. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. All right, we really got to keep moving here. We're taking forever. You know what? I'm okay. As much as I enjoy working with a pencil, I can tell it's adding too much time. So I'm just gonna go back to the old school stuff here. We're gonna draw this how we did it before. All right. So we want this guy doing a Shoryuken. How many fingers they got? 3. Let's make it even more stylized and have the Tupo not even looking. Yeah. Actually, I gotta see this one's face because this one has a. Oops. Let me pull up my reference. Where are you? There you are. Hey, Ritu, how's it going, man? How is it going? This is like that Rocky pose. Shoryuken, but it turns into a Rocky pose. I like it. And she's got a scar. The chain's off. Give Momo Band. She's still got to get her crown back. She hasn't had that in a long time. Lewis, I'm about to type. I like the pencils, though the other pen saves time when you decide to switch to the pen. Type with time. Oh, no, that's exactly right. Like, trust me. Actually, here, I'll show you guys this too. And showing stuff is taking time out of this, but I just want to give you an example of why I started to fart around with the pencil. Like, I'm noticing that I feel like my art is a little bit better with the pencil because you can noodle and fix. Where with the pen, it's blunt, right? Like it's very, whatever. But it's time efficient for me, and I know for some of you guys, it just won't work. You guys have to do a pencil or something similar, right? You just got to find what clicks for you. Let me just show you. We just wrapped this up. Yeah, we streamed this one. If you guys missed it, you'll see it. But let me go to Yeah. Okay. So this is the final. I think I posted it a little while ago. We did this on stream, but I wanted to, this is why I'm talking about why I can tell I do a little bit better work in my opinion with a pencil when we're doing this because like let's turn that off. So you see, just it's like especially right here, like in the hand. Do you see how it dips in and comes out? It's a lot more fluid, right? There's fluidity in here, and there's life. For me, that's what I see. But when you're working, or when I notice when I'm working with like this pen here, let me just let's assume this was like my silhouette or whatever. When I'm in here and doing this, it's right. It's a lot of like tappy kind of stuff. It's still there. The information's still there, but it's not the same. And it's up to me to figure this out when we get to line art. Where here I can go right to line art, and it's a lot easier. It's an easier step from here, I think. So I'm still going back and forth. You guys know that I jump around on tools every now and then, but for the most part, it's all the same kind of stuff. Yeah, the stream sucks today. I'm more than sure it's YouTube because I'm getting errors on my side too. I'm gonna fake some people around in the background. Someone was over there. Okay, so we got to get another gun. La la la. Lewis saying, I've been trying the pen without pressure sensitivity, but I feel the pencil gives me. Jesus. Oh, man. I feel the pencil gives me ideas and inspiration when. Yeah, absolutely. It does. Um, just something you guys try out. You might not dig it. That's cool. I'm not trying to push anybody into doing one thing over the other at all. You do what feels good for you. I guess just to add onto it though, to think about it is, like I rarely just go right into pen. I do like the silhouette stuff, or it's I do sometimes use it as gesture and just build it up with layer transparency. Again, do what works for you. Whatever keeps you moving along. That's all that matters, right? Like I'd rather all of us be. One sec. I'd rather all of us just be drawing, even if it's maybe not efficient, but as long as you're drawing, I think that's all that really matters. Okay, temp. Where's that again? Nope, desktop. flip that. Okay, so we're gonna flip that. That way it looks like he actually dropped it. Okay, so that's done. That's done. Getting there. This silhouette, I think what I might do, because like even with the line art, we're gonna do more like that. So I'm just gonna copy it and put it in there. Carry that over. Yeah. Blue SFX. Okay, that panel's done. Let's get into this one. Oh, they're pacifists, all right. Until there's an uprising. So I don't even know. I'm pretty sure in the script, I don't really tell what happens. So obviously, let's assume the story ends on a good note, like every other story for the most part. So I don't think I explain. I'll have to double check. If not, I might have to add a page to explain. Okay, so if Jessup and Momo leave, what happens to the two people that have been with them at the end? They're the prisoners, right? This guy, I never remember the names. The Tupo's name is Boca, and I think this guy's name is Scrim. I think that's right. So we'll see what happens to them because obviously there's a Doblin fighting a Doblin. I'm pretty sure I addressed that actually. And Boca, the girl, the Tupo, you know, they're kind of buddies. So, and I've heard some people saying that they'd like to have a little side story with them. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. But I'm just glad people are kind of digging them. All right. So this one's gonna be a little tricksy. So see, this brush is too big, right? You don't always have to use that brush. You can go a little smaller. You don't always have to keep. Maybe we'll just go with the line art brush because you're just so small in the background. Let's grab our Mexiat. See how he's looking. You know the plump ones? They're all pretty plump. Are all Tupos female? No. There's definitely male ones. which is a good question because I know I've just introduced. They're here kind of rescuing the queen. We've heard about that, and then this one's a female. Uh, but no, I don't think I actually introduced any male ones. Like a lot of this story too, which is fun, and it's interesting to see this happen in real time. And I hope you guys get to experience this too. That this project always seems to give off the illusion that like a lot more is planned than actually is. So I had the plots planned out, right, but I was very much doing the Marvel method. I would call it. Meaning that a lot of the writing, like the writing, is per page basis. So what that's done is it's caused me to not be able to foreshadow stuff as efficiently as if you were to make a graphic novel and you were going to, write the script and then draw it. So some good has obviously come from it too, like some really cool ideas that I can sneak in, and it's given me time to also think on stuff while still making something. But like the idea of is there males? To me, yeah, there's always been males. However, I didn't really, I guess, think it was necessary to say that. I know it's just a generic question you're asking, but at the same time, if I was writing this out as a graphic novel, most likely I would have, thought about that a little bit more, or I would have at least brought that up in a line of dialogue, you know. Um, so it's funny. It's funny just seeing how much how many cool questions you guys come up with because we've already come up with some stuff where it's like on the fly. What are the okay? One of the example. Here's a great example. It wasn't with you guys, but I did it on my own. Where it was page one, literally page one. Momo and Jessup step out of the Sagan one, the little spaceship, and I just knew they were landing and they were saying something about running out of fuel. That was it. And once I got to writing, I wanted, I needed a little bit more personality. I needed some balloons to fill up, some speech balloons. So that's where I put in like just the idea of, Jess was saying, "Hey, we finally made it. Breathe in that fresh air," and she says, "I don't breathe," and you say this every single time, implying that they've done stuff like this before, and he makes the same lame dad joke every single time. I had no intent that she didn't breathe. I don't even know what her powers were. I just knew she could use magic, you know, and that's all it was. And so like every time we were drawing stuff and doing all that stuff, I'm just making it up as I go. It's been fun. It's been a lot of fun. And then like I didn't even know what her race was and stuff. And there's a page coming up. I think it'll be either this Friday or maybe the following Friday. Patreon people get this stuff first, but King Mexiat, he's seen people or creatures like Momo before, so he says like the race she is, and I just come up with that on the fly of like names and stuff. So it's interesting just to see. I think it comes across that there's an illusion that there's a lot more planned here than there really is. It's very loose. But it's also exciting to hear people like you guys as well when you say certain comments where I'm like, it's interesting. I didn't, I guess I didn't consider that enough. And it's cool. It's really cool. I dig it. Ridu, where do you think a comic book artist should start looking for work? Hmm. Well, the only advice I could give you, because okay, where I got work was, and we're talking, fucking hell, probably like 6 to 10 years ago, is like art forums or like comic book forums. I don't even know if that's still the best way to go. I don't know. So I would suggest that. So like Pencil Jack or DeviantArt, or no, DeviantArt. I guess I've never really had success. I don't really like DeviantArt, but you can check DeviantArt. But Pencil Jack and Digital Webbing, those two are the big ones for me. Back then, again, I don't know about today. Other than that, honestly, man, I would do it this way. Okay, and I know a lot of you won't agree with me on this one, but just hear me out. And this is my advice for everybody. And if you don't like the advice, then I'm not the guy to talk to about the specific thing. But for those of you that this does resonate with, just hear me out. This is what I would recommend doing. If you want to make a living as a comic book artist, if you're asking that question now, to me that just means that you're still on your way, okay? And that doesn't mean like I mean on your way artistically. I just mean on your way to actually getting that job. What I would do is get yourself a full-time job if you can, like a full-time day job. That way, it'll cover all of your money. You'll never have a money problem again, ever. Uh, Sometimes you get sweet benefits and stuff. You can even call in sick sometimes if you like, and you just want to grind out a comic book. Guess what? You woke up on a Thursday and you're like, I've been dreaming about drawing comic books all day. I'm just gonna take a Thursday off. Screw it. You can do that, right? Most likely. Okay. Do that. Your money problems are instantly solved. Okay. You most likely got debt. You can start hammering that away. Blah blah blah. Okay. The second part is when you're not working, make comic books. Okay. So what that means is I just want to shift into the comic book portion of that. So what I would do, in my opinion, you've got a couple options. One is keep making your own comic first and foremost. Come up with a lame idea, a little web comic or whatever, and do that. Or come up with mini stories. So come up with a superhero story for 4 or 5 pages, share it online. Whatever you're doing, consistently make a comic book. You do not need to be getting paid for it, and you do not need to be working with a writer to make a comic book or to be a comic book artist. If you want to be a comic book artist, just make comic pages that you think you would want to make. Okay? Because what you're doing is, which leads into the next point, which is you're constantly creating an updated portfolio. Okay? So while you're doing these things, while you're making these comic book pages, you can also be spending, I don't know, a couple hours a week, really, looking at forums or looking online and seeing people looking for artists. Also, trying to find editors at like a Marvel, DC, and stuff, and asking if it's okay if you send them updates. If you get a yes, then while you keep making your comic book, you can send them updates, and you never know what happens from that, and you never know what person you're going to find around on a forum. I'll tell you right now, people looking. Anyway, that's my advice on the whole thing. I do not think there is like a you go here and that's where the jobs are. There's no secret paradise that I found. There's no island of writers that are just full of cash looking to hire people all the time. Okay, so just to bring this back, and I'll get off of it. That's what I'm doing right now, and I've been open with you guys. Is Jessup King is I want to be a comic book artist. I need to be making comics. I have a day job. I don't need to work with another writer. I don't have to. They might make a better story, sure, but I'm just doing art. I don't care. Like, the story's important, but I don't. You know what I'm saying? So I'm doing this, and if this breaks into something, cool. If not, this could get me commissions. This could get me maybe people. Like, I've had people asking me to do comics for them, and I've said no because I want to do this. I'm also sending editors this stuff too, and I never know what happens from any of this stuff, right? That's all I'm saying. So please, and again, I know there's people that will take what I just said, and they will refuse to flip burgers. They will refuse to fill bags. They refuse to work an office job because it's not art. And I'm not saying that's, for me, it doesn't make sense. But I know some people that, they couch surf. That's the term I've heard. They couch surf at different people's houses, and they eventually get a job in the comic book industry, and then they go. So it does work on both sides. I would just say myself, for me, the way I am, I would recommend getting a day job. It fixes a whole lot of problems, and you're going to get frustrated while you're at that job. And it's a huge test because once you get home and your social life and all that stuff, you'll see if you've got the stuff. Do you want to put in those extra 8 hours after your day job to do a comic book? Because when you get in the industry, sometimes you got to do, 12 to 24 hours a page sometimes. Sometimes you got to do 2 projects because whatever happens in life. Sometimes you got to work 7 days a week, right? These are things that are that's why I do think a lot of artists get short-sighted with this, is that the day job doesn't just mean you've given up or you've lost. That day job fixes so many problems that you're hoping art's going to fix, and it builds into your character as an artist, okay? And that's all I'm going to say with that. I've worked 2 jobs at one point while I was doing the standard, and I was burnt out all the time. Not all the time. That's a lie. It's making me sound like I was more of a hero than I was. But there's definitely times where I'm like, I don't want to draw today. I just want to play some fucking video games. I want to play some Magic the Gathering. I want to go get coffee with a buddy and just talk. That's what I would want to do. Sometimes I would do that. But just be aware of those moments, because all those times you say no and you keep working, you're building. It's like a scab. Or I guess one last thing I'll say is I would akin to somebody playing guitar. You get the calluses on your finger and it hurts, but eventually you get through that. And that's the pain you got to go through. And that's the stuff that no forum's ever going to give you. And you'd be surprised. You might find some artists or some writers like, oh, I need you to do a book for me. You're like, cool, I get it. And you start to really quickly notice that you suck at perspective, and now you dread even doing those pages. And somebody's already paid you to do it. And now you don't want to let them down, and it causes stress in your life that you're not ready yet for. So. Lewis, is there a way to get an editor's email for sending samples without coming across as creeper or stalker? Yes, there's definitely ways that you can find editors' emails. Honestly, just ask around, see what people. Some people might be able to help you out and give you an editor's number or whatever. I think the easiest way, if you're starting, well, it's not the easiest, but go to like the local conventions where you know editors will be, and bring a portfolio. That's all it is, and just everybody's got to start somewhere, guys. There's no, and I know I don't want to come at you guys, but there's no like, there's no password, there's no island, there's no door you got to get through, and then your life magically changes. They exist, but that's like 2% of people, okay? What you guys are looking for is hard work, continually drawing, continually doing that, continually sharing, and continually trying to grow and network. You know, that's all that's it. There is no other secret sauce. You do those things and put in the years and you're okay. Well, let me back up. You might not be okay. Not everybody gets it just because you do those things, but you have a higher chance of possibly getting it. Okay, so think about it. Let's say you want to work on Marvel. I don't know how many Marvel books. Let's just assume there's 50. Let's say they only have 50 books. That means every month they pay 50 artists. You want to get a job there? You got to take somebody else's job. That's it. They're not going to make a custom book just for you. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm telling you guys with the internet and stuff, make your own fucking comic books, guys. There's no excuse. I don't care what level of skill you're at. Make something. You never know what people might be into. It's giving you an option. Let's say you want to work at Marvel and there's only 50 books and you're struggling and I mean you're trying for years to get in and you're good. You're actually good and you're trying. In that time, you could have been making your own couple projects or something, right? For whatever. They could be Patreon, they could be a free webcomic, they could be Kickstarter, all those things. Those are all opportunities you're actually giving yourself. And you're just not aware of it yet. That's all. That's all I'm trying to say. Anyway, I'll be right back, you guys. Take about a 5 minute break. I hope that I hope that helped a little bit of real talk for you. Alright, 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 alright. Okay, thanks for waiting, guys. Lewis is saying, there you go. I've been at my job for 18 years, and I want to get back to what I always dreamed of doing, which is draw and work from home. Real talk is why I watch. My man. All right, well, I wish you all the best, dude. So what are you doing, Lewis? You let everybody know in the... oh, yeah, okay. So what are you doing right now, Lewis? Just to update everybody. What is it that you're currently... If you're not doing anything to get that job, what are you thinking about? Or are you... What are the next steps you think you might take, or what? Okay, so I got Momo here. She's like huge in the foreground. I don't know. Should I just keep her here like this? I feel like if we cover that much of the stairs, may as well just make her small. Let's see here. Maybe we can tilt her head, get that extreme angle, make her look sad. She's TKO. Okay, like show a tentacle, maybe another one here. Maybe we can put like some stars or something around her. Alright, I think this is good enough. Let's save it up. Let's get into some line art. I'm tired of this. Let's get some drawing. Hey Troy, how's it going, buddy? Troy's ready to go. Alright, so we got this page here. Let's get rid of the text. Okay, so we've got our breakdowns, right? We don't need our silhouettes anymore. We definitely don't need the thumbnails. So let's delete all that. And so I don't regret this. Save as. Oh, we're already in lines. Well then. And let's use our auto action to make all those folders. And we'll call this Lineart. Put all of that in there. And we're good to go. So let's save it. Let's draw some pictures. Jessup gonna have his own team like He-Man? Most likely, in my mind, no. It's just him and Momo for a while. An arch nemesis? Most likely. He hasn't been introduced yet. But yes, there's definitely a big bad out there. Well, many big bads, but when we get introduced to the big bad, I think that's where the story's gonna start to get a little bit more serious. Hmm. Weird. Okay, well. Sorry, I thought I made a custom debris brush. Guess can't find it. Hey Simon, how's it going? Pros and cons of Manga versus Photoshop. Fuck. I'm gonna throw it back at you. I'm gonna knock it back to you on your side of the court. What do you do mostly? What are you looking for? Because there's definitely applications for both. Not enough, enough tonight. Have I wandered? Hmm. Not sure if I want this or not. We'll see. I'll soon be dead. Mainly adding color to already inked pieces. Oh, shit. This goes 50-50, brother. Some people love Photoshop. Some people like Manga Studio. My honest opinion, uh, I think Manga Studio is better for coloring. Personally, comics. I think drawing is better in Manga Studio. I think creating comics, period, is better in Manga Studio. Logos, special effects, um, image editing and stuff, Photoshop. Personally, there's a lot you can still do in Manga Studio. I honestly like. I think it's on sale right now. I really don't think. See you later, AK. Thanks for popping in, man. I really don't think you'd regret the purchase, especially for the cost. Honestly, I think it's tremendous. Um, I color this whole book in Manga Studio. So here, let me just show you a quick example of why it might be something you might be into. Okay, let me just show you this. If you've colored it all, this Well, no, it depends on the art style you're doing too, right? But just check this out real quick. So let's grab. I guess we'll do colors here. I don't know. What was the page that just went up the other day? This one? Sure, we'll go with this one for now. Just so you can see an example. Now, I obviously have a closed style. Closed line art style, meaning like everything I do is closed. Like there's no holes in it. That's nothing. I mean, you could close lines with color yourself if you wanted. But anyway, let's just pick like a color here, dude. Check this out. You can use like a paint bucket tool and check this out. This is just a quick way that I like to do. You just click anywhere and you click and hold and drag, right? So flats are the absolute worst. I still don't like doing them. This isn't. This is great for small pages like this where it's not, you don't need it all the time. They have this tool right here where you can make a marquee tool, and as soon as you're done, it auto fills. I know you can do all this in Photoshop, but I mean it saves time. And your cut and grad, your airbrushing, whatever you're gonna do, you might have to get new brushes and stuff, but you know what I mean. Like it's relatively simple. So, however, Photoshop does have like it's Photoshop. It's been around forever. It costs a little bit, but it's been around forever. So if you're doing just coloring, it might be better for you because there's a lot more resources out there, like effects and stuff. Not that you can't bounce between the two, but I don't. I hope that helped you at least a little bit. All right, man. I think what is it? It's like 60 something percent off right now, right? I'll tell you this. I don't know if it's both, but like, don't feel like you have to get the EX version. I really don't think you're missing anything personally. You get the same drawing ability in both, so even if it's cheaper, and anybody in the chat too, if you guys wanted to chime in, by all means, go ahead. Like the main reason I just stay in what's it called, Clip Studio, is I find that I can ink better in it, and I feel like my drawing is better in it. And you can use rulers and stuff. And not that you can't do any of that stuff in Photoshop. The only thing I will say this, I know you asked for good color, but anybody else that's listening for whatever reasons, the number one thing that I still go to Photoshop, I haven't lately because of this project the way it is paths. There is no path function yet in Clip Studio. So if you use paths and you want to just have like a total Clip Studio workflow, you can't. If you don't use paths, disregard everything I just said. Hey, Monsterism, how's it going? Matador, I declared war on Scrivener today. I've been sitting on my computer for almost years unused because I could not grasp it how it. Oh, right on, man. So what was it that made you just click? I have it as well because I heard everybody uses it, and I think we talked about this every time you bring it up. There's like a comics template or something with like hotkeys and shortcuts and stuff, and I just didn't make the time to check it out. But a lot of people talk about Scrivener, so. Trying to diagnose your Cintiq, which isn't working. Uh oh. Sorry to hear that, buddy. It sucks. I hope you fix it soon. What the hell am I missing? Oh, I didn't. Ugh. Oops, a daisy. I found Anthony Johnson's tutorial, followed it, and got better understanding of the concept. I even uploaded a little video of what I learned because by next month everything I learned will be gone. Why? What's next month? You're making me want to like go check this out right away. Like I'm on the cusp of missing something. Hi, Zelda. Oh, the mightiest of sighs. Rube, how's it going? Saying I tried using Photoshop and it's so complicated compared to Clip Studio. Your thoughts on that? I agree. I will say, okay, I grew up in Photoshop in high school, so we're talking 1998. I've been using Photoshop since then. So there's like, there's a joke. There's like 2 to 5 different ways to do the same thing in Photoshop, which is great and bad at the same time. It's extremely flexible. I think if Photoshop was all you had, you'd be fine. If Clip Studio was all you had, you'd be fine. You just kind of have to learn the software you're in. But a negative that I do find about Clip Studio, okay, the pro is you can just load it up and it's very easy to understand the buttons that it's using and stuff and make, I don't know if, yeah, no, yeah, Clip Studio, not Clip Studio, Manga Studio 4 was a little bit better in this regard, but it's the same kind of thing. Make a new document and it's got crop marks, everything. It's like, it's for comics, right? So it's very specific, which is great. The con, though, that I find is like a lot of the features of Manga Studio are buried, so it's hard to find it. A good example is like right now I've turned the line art red by pressing this effect button, but you could turn it green, blue, whatever you want. But you could actually have it so that when you click it, it'll always do this one thing. You've set it up to do it. We were actually doing it today, and it makes sense how to get. Well, it doesn't actually make. Well, maybe it does make sense, but it's it's odd. And I found a lot of things that are kind of like that as well. So regardless, no matter what you're going into, it's software, right? So software is going to be bad and good at the same time. Usually there's growing pains no matter what software you guys use. I'm sure a lot of you guys think like that too. But just stick with something. And or Clip Studio here is gaining popularity every year, which is great. Photoshop, like I said, it's been around since how long? You know, how long did Clip Studio come out now? This is Clip Studio 5's been out for what now? Like 3 years? Is that right? Something like that. So still got a lot of legs left. But it does get out of your way to draw and stuff, so that's good. I just learned about artboards on Friday at work in Photoshop, and that's huge. I don't know if anybody else here uses artboards at all, but it's a pretty good day. Do you mean the pen tool as in like the actual pen tool to make shapes and stuff? That's the one thing I do miss about Photoshop. Okay, yeah, okay. That's what I thought. Yeah, same here. I mean, I still think you could totally draw and make comics in Photoshop. Tons of people still do. So sometimes the cost of learning a new software isn't really worth it for people, right? You Zelda. Here, you gonna sit up here? Here. Zelda. Yeah, I'll be on for a little bit. Good luck, buddy. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, Zelda, one sec. We're almost done. Alright, I'm actually going to finish the line art for this page here, and then I'm going to call it for the stream. Got some cats here that need some attention, so very good opportunity to take a break. Got it. Okay, cool. All right, well, thank you guys, everybody that was watching today. Appreciate your hangouts, and I will talk to you all soon. These videos, they get recorded or whatever, and they usually go back up about a week. Lately, it's been like 2 weeks since they went live. So anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one if you're around. If not, that's cool. Keep reading comics, keep making comics, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.